Oh my god, please stop. Needless to say, the Barbie has absolutely taken the world by storm in the last few months. I mean, I'd be amiss to talk about the movie without mentioning the absolute marketing masterpiece that they've given us. I mean, from collaborations with brands, to interviews in character, to a whole host of different things, Barbie has truly kind of been everything everywhere all at once. It was kind of akin to a cultural movement, honestly. Building up that much hype for anything can be a good or a bad thing. We all know that, right? I mean, depending on whether you can really live up to those kinds of expectations. And while I'm not gonna tell you just yet whether I think the movie does meet those expectations, let me tell you right now, Barbie is not the type of movie that you expect it to be. Let me tell you why. Greta Gerwig treats us with a nuanced and emotionally profound satirical film. All of this wrapped in a captivatingly vibrant and super colorful package. It's awesome, honestly. And you know, she uses comedy as a vehicle to deliver a message about society that I don't think any of us are truly prepared to receive when we walk in to watch the Barbie movie in theaters. She does a brilliant balancing act between delivering lines intending to make an audience laugh and succeeding at that, while allowing those lines to have enough weight to them that kind of makes you stop and think about the film's true intentions, which is kind of the beauty there. It's pretty paradoxical. I think that's the right word, who knows? Comedy is obviously the star in the film, and it honestly hits home so well with lines that take you off guard, honestly. I was laughing the whole damn movie. Greta and the cast did a really good job in providing genuinely funny lines like, I think where the movie misses sometimes is actually when it takes itself a bit too seriously. Some of the lines regarding the film's feministic and sort of anti-patriarchal message come off a bit forced, in my opinion. Those misses are few and far between, to be honest. Through that veil of comedic relief, quippy lines, and pretty decent music, what Barbie's actually about is how Barbieland is a complete inversion of society today. Barbieland being a world where women are empowered, hold all significant leadership positions. The real focus of the story, I would say, is on woman empowerment by highlighting the flaws of modern society, mainly through comedy. You know, it is a satire. And interwoven with all its layers, the film also conveys a pretty powerful message, I think, that both Barbieland and the real world represent extremes of gender inequality, rather than either of them getting it right. And I think that's really powerful, because the movie doesn't just tout Barbieland as this absolute paradise and compares it to the evil real world. It shows that Barbieland and the real world both have their own flaws, and both are kind of extremes. And I think that was a really smart, creative decision, and gives the movie even more cultural weight, in my opinion. Now, I have heard people online already calling for the Ryan Gosling Oscar train. I don't blame them, but I personally wouldn't go that far, to be honest. I do think that there could not have been a better Ken, like nobody, other than Ryan. Like, he embodies Kenism to pure fucking perfection and plays the dumb, obsessed Ken brilliantly, while also delivering the character arc that Ken has throughout the movie with true grace. You know, his emotional outbursts in the end of the movie, displaying that existential crisis that he's going through at not being the Ken to Margot's Barbie anymore, is powerful enough to actually believe that it comes from a genuine vulnerability, which, I mean, that's what acting's all about, right? I would go as far to say that Ken's character arc is one of the most important pieces of the movie. He goes from being another weak-minded, dumb, aloof, Barbie-obsessed Ken, like we all are, to learning about the patriarchy in the real world and kind of gaining a somewhat delusional sense of confidence, I would say, that seems to, stem from the insecurity of him and Barbie's relationship not really going as well as he expects it to go. And then, finally, in the closing act of his character arc, beginning to start finding himself and gaining a bit of self-awareness through Barbie's help, of course. The growth is really awesome, honestly, and Ryan does a brilliant job making us believe that there's more to Ken than just his Barbie-obsessed self, which is a feat. Let's be honest. What to say about our main girl, the queen herself, fucking Margot Robbie as Barbie, who kills it as Barbie. Obviously one of the best cast roles that I can think of in recent history. She just fits it perfectly as the stereotypical Barbie. And I'd say the acting that she delivers is decent, although I wouldn't say that there's too much complexity to the character for her to really excel and show her chops as an actress, in my opinion, throughout this film. I do, though, love the emotional depth that she adds to Barbie as the movie goes along, with the character growing in maturity and awareness throughout the movie, realizing that Barbie has actually failed in making women empowered and independent, kind of bursts her bubble and brings her down to earth, and realizing what modern society is actually like. And, she grows to realize that Barbie Land isn't as perfect as she might have once thought, and isn't too dissimilar from the real world, with both worlds being extremes, just complete inversions of each other. I also love the moment that she has with the creator of the creator of Barbie, Ruth, at the end of the movie, where they go for a walk and Barbie's saying that she doesn't think she fits in Barbie Land anymore and doesn't really see herself as Barbie. Ruth is kind of like, look, child, I gotta show you what you might be dealing with here, and shows her a glimpse of what women have to deal with through life, to just kind of show her a sliver of reality and show her what the world and life is really like for a woman nowadays. It's a really touching moment. It's really beautiful. I think once Margot wakes up from seeing those images and she just says, yes, kind of just accepting that that's what she wants, the imperfectness of reality. It's really beautiful, and I think she did a great job with the character, obviously. Now, I also kind of want to touch on a few other things. Music, I think, is really well. Some of the tracks that they choose hit brilliantly within the plot. For example, Billie Eilish's song towards the end really adds that emotional bow to the rapper that I think was necessary to encapsulate the film and kind of bring it back full circle. So some of the musical choices are really good. I need to mention Ken's song, because that was bliss and brilliance. I loved it. The choreography with all the Kens, the singing, it's a bop. I have it in my head already, and I'm so mad that they haven't released it on Spotify, or at least the last time I checked they hadn't released it on Spotify. I also need to mention the set design, and so much props to the set designers, because the movie is so well designed. Barbie Land is so vibrant and pink and immersive, and it's all really like a dollhouse. They did a brilliant job in designing that set, and it adds to the whole ambiance of the movie and feeling like you're there with Barbie yourself. Overall, it's a really good all-around movie. That's a ton of fun to go watch with anyone, to be honest. There are only a few misses in my opinion. like the mother and daughter relationship. I think that just wasn't as fleshed out as it could have been. And if it had been more fleshed out, it would have added to the emotional weight of the movie towards the end, especially. The music's okay, but nothing out otherworldly. Plot is good, but there could have been a bit more complexity to it, in my opinion. And also some of the lines and script is a bit cringy, a bit kind of seeming forced. Nevertheless, though, I honestly think it really is a surprisingly great movie. And for my score, I mean, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I wouldn't have expected to rate it this high. I mean, I never played with Barbie as a kid. I didn't really have much exposure to Barbie at all throughout my life. And it was really, really entertaining and meaningful and deep. So, yeah, 8.5 out of 10. That's me done. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. See ya later. I mean, the question really is it giving Ken? Who knows?